Hi Peaches, it's Shaaba. Welcome back to my channel and thank you for clicking on another video. What are we doing today? Well, as you know, we do a lot of Am I the A-holes here on this channel, right? We do it because it's a little bit of drama, it's a little bit of fun, but also it helps us to expand our mindsets and help a couple people out. I was going through comments and somebody suggested we take a look at the subreddit called Confessions. And initially I was like, no, what could possibly be learned from these? It's just gonna be like juicy drama, probably full of a bunch of fake stories. But then I thought, hang on a second, I have some things that I am not very proud of that I did in my past. A lot of them I have spoken about here on this channel and I cringe every time I do think back, talk about it. But maybe there is something in that, in reclaiming power and in learning from other people's mistakes. So I don't know, if this is a format that you enjoy, let me know. I'm not entirely sure what my plan is apart from to understand these stories and we'll just kind of wing it and go from there. How does that sound? Does that sound okay to you? In middle school, I made counterfeit lunch passes to make money. When I was in middle school, we had these things called the lunch line leapers. They were these purple pieces of paper cut into the shape of a kangaroo. Beautiful branding from your school, just putting that out there. They allow students to get their lunch before everyone else could, basically first dibs on anything that you want. They were mostly given as prizes. Prizes, as I imagine, from teachers to kids, to be like, hey, well done. Go to the front of the lunch line. That's a little bit odd to me. I feel like, one, we shouldn't be using food as a reward in that way. And two, you should just be having enough food for everybody. If you say you're going to provide something on a school menu, provide that thing on a school menu, do you know what I mean? They were mostly given as prizes and most kids would win maybe 1 or 2 a month. Well, I had coloured paper the exact same colour. I see you! So I took a real lunch line leaper and traced it over and over. Every week I'd make about 20 or so and sell them for $5 each. When I was at school, how old were you? Middle school. I'm thinking if you still have like lunch lines in the shape of kangaroos, we're not talking about like proper secondary school here, right? In which case I never had $5 to spend on my lunch. Never mind spending that on leaping the line and then paying for lunch. And I would sell a maximum of 2 per person. Good, not getting caught. I would always sell out by the end of the week. Clearly there's a lot of kids at your school with disposable income. I did this from 6th grade to 8th grade and not a single teacher or staff member ever found out. Love that. Hey, as far as confessions go, that's pretty cool. It's not super harmful. What did you spend your money on? I want to know. Did you like save it up and buy something really cool? It reminds me of those stories that you hear about these like super successful entrepreneurs like Alan Sugar, who used to, I can't remember what he did, but like polish baseballs off golf balls and sell them back to people, or in school selling Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh cards, well, whatever it is that people do. You're going to be a very good business person in the future. As far as breaking a rule goes, it's not super bad. I thought the confessions would be worse. Having said that's the first one, so let's see. I bullied a girl into being pulled out of school, and I regret it. See, I knew I spoke too soon. Back in 3rd grade, there was this weird girl in my class, but in reality, she was just enjoying life differently. Late in the school year, we were doing what we did, not talking to her in group work, excluding her in recess, etc. She had a mental breakdown, and I'll never forget her words. Why does everyone hate me? She later stopped going to school. She was genuinely a nice person. I regret bullying her, and I wish I could say sorry. That sucks. I mean, no, absolutely it sucks. That sucks, but no buts. That sucks. And it's cool that you can reflect on it now and realise that you were wrong for doing that. I wonder why you felt the need to bully. And I wonder if now, like, I don't know if you want a family, maybe you have a family. If maybe your experiences there and your reflection on those experiences can be turned into a positive where you can teach other people not to bully. Be a better human now. Raise any children you have not to be bullies. There we go. Looking at this forum though, there's a lot of like very negative comments underneath these confessions and people are like, oh, you suck so bad. I get voicing that opinion, but I feel like the people posting these confessions know that. That's why they're putting it here, right? I wonder what people get from posting these confessions. There is a sense of liberation in being able to say, hey, I did this thing. And if you're apologizing now, you know, being able to say like, gosh, I wish I could say I'm sorry. Hey, maybe, OP, if you ever see this, or if other people who have done similar things are feeling some kind of bad, a way to erase that would be to say that you're sorry now. It's never too late. I don't know if you can find this person in any way, or even if you can't find them directly, maybe contact your school and say, hey, I have a letter here for a kid that used to go here at the same time as me. If you have those records, would you mind passing it on so that you're not breaching any kind of data protection or privacy rules? Just a thought. I kept breaking all my dad's cigarettes until I went overboard. I wasn't that old when I found out that smoking's bad for you. Living with a dad who was a heavy smoker, I took it upon myself to help him quit. I've done this so many times, particularly with some, you know, older loved ones who used to smoke a lot, and I very quickly learnt that it's not worth it. For me, I'm not suggesting you shouldn't. You totally should if you feel like you want to and you can. But the amount of like crap that I would get for being like, oh, of all the vices in the world, Shaaba, I'm just like, fine, you know what? I'll leave you to it. Just don't do it in my company, you know? I started small, just breaking a few at a time in his packages, so he thought he smoked more than he had. This went on for quite a while, but I got greedy. I was annoyed that he didn't start smoking less. So one day I took the 3 new packets he just bought and broke everything in them, and I left them there for him to find. As a kid, I had no idea how expensive they were, I might add. Well, I got one hell of a talking down when he saw it. It took him some time to steam off, but when he realised why I had done it, he'd actually started trying to stop, so at least there was a silver lining. Hey, that's an amazing silver lining. Well done you. Kid you was very brave. Kid you had no concept of money, but that's okay, because health is more important than cash, and if we're talking about how expensive they are, in the long run, if your dad did eventually end up quitting, you've saved him so much money, because he's now not spending them on any cigarettes at all. So yay. Once I stole my gym teacher's inhaler during PE class. No! I stole her inhaler in PE because I didn't want to run 5 laps when she kept telling me to. She got really tired and needed her inhaler, but I couldn't find it. This caused her to panic and run out of breath, and after that, she went to the ER because she had a very bad asthma attack. If you're reading this, Miss Stanley, I'm truly sorry. Oh God, I have questions. So it turns out this person dropped the inhaler underneath bleachers and then couldn't reach it. And that Miss Stanley was in hospital for a number of days but survived. Wow. Did you tell Miss Stanley? Does Miss Stanley know that it was you that took the inhaler? I would not be able to live with that guilt. I would have to say, hey, I'm so sorry at the time. If you have any capacity to speak to Miss Stanley, go and apologise to Miss Stanley. It's the right thing to do. I am so glad that she survived, but wow. Sometimes kids, I say this with respect, and about all kids, not just you, it shocks me how stupid kids can be sometimes, just how much they don't realise the consequences of their actions. To be like, oh, I don't want to run 5 laps, so here, let me totally risk your life and put you in a position that could genuinely kill you. Having said that, a learning moment, I really hope that you understand the impact of that now, and whenever something bad happens, something like that would definitely stick with me to be like, ooh, let me have a think before I react. I was bored during piano lessons because the teacher was spending all of her time on this one girl that obviously hadn't practiced. Goodness, it's really frustrating when that happens. It's like, hey, I put in the actual work, you didn't put in any work, and yet you get the most value. Make that make sense. Anyway, I was playing around with a pencil and I thought that maybe if I get so little attention, I can get away with pushing the pencil between the keys and the piano. Oh gosh. So if these are the piano keys, you kind of stuck a pencil up here. Ooh. So that just made me think of fingernails and my back. Stop it back. Okay. But I was a bit horrified that I couldn't get the pencil back out. Later they asked around who'd done that because the piano was broken. It was a grand piano worth 25,000 euros at the time. I don't know if they were able to fix it. You don't have to replace the entire piano if one key is stuck. You can just change that one key. But I am certain that some concerts were impossible without fixing the problem first. I was stuck underneath a high note that's barely used, but still, I was able to lie with a poker face. But I still feel bad about it. I still feel odd using pencils near my own pianos. Well, do you have like a compulsive thought, an intrusive thought to be like, I did it once, I can do it again, this power that I hold. I also just don't use pencils anymore, especially near the piano. Actually, my piano, you're right, is one of the places where I do have a pencil, because then I can easily write chords and rub them out. There you go. And before you ask about why I'm not using devices, it's very difficult, okay, to have big clunky devices that flap, you know, like a laptop has a flap, compared to paper that just sits on the board. It's incredibly easy to remove the keys from a piano to clean them, even a grand piano. Don't worry, it costed them at most the cost of a tuning session, $60 to $100. Someone else says the fact that you even own a piano now is a crime, you bastard. I hope he said, I treat them really good now, atonement. I hope you do. I hope you stroke that high key on your piano. So it was you, says someone else. Brilliant. It was you. When I was like 8 or 9, I was walking around my house and then I saw it. The spaghetti that was being cooked. This is so dramatic. For some reason, I thought it'd be a good idea to give it some extra flavour and I spit in it. Everyone ate it and nobody found out. I'm sorry to all the Italian grandmothers out there. I beg you for your forgiveness. You beg. That's not an okay thing to do. Ew, kids are so weird. I'm sure I've done equally as odd things as a child. In fact, I know I have done odd things as a child. I've never spit in food that would be eaten by other people though. Not that I remember. Ooh, that's not okay. That's very not okay. Having said that though, if it was boiling, right, then the heat of the water gets rid of any bacteria. It's just mentally uncomfortable to know that someone would have eaten the spit of other people. No, no, no. Oh, odd person. Well, hang on. Let's not say odd person. Odd thing to do, because everybody does odd things. It doesn't make you weird. It just means the thing that you did was weird. We all do weird things. Embrace it. In high school, I used other kids' work assignments as my own and erased their name. I don't know how I graduated high school, let alone early and advanced classes. I feel like I just wasted time and space at school. I always had my earphones in. I was on Twitter all day long. Of all the things that you could be doing, Twitter is how you decide to spend your time? In class, I would talk to a friend and goof off all period. Usually I copy work of other students, but sometimes I was taking other students' assignments from the turn-in bin, erasing their names and writing my own. That is so not okay. I'm assuming this is done in pencil, so maybe, yeah, actually, this is funny. I think a lot of schools still do use pencil. I did this mainly in my last year of high school when I was a junior with all the seniors, and I graduated early and went to college. I did pretty good in college, to be honest. Anyway, that's one of my confessions. I don't think each confession should be full of guilt and regret. I'm just confessing up to what I did. This is my first post, and I don't think everyone needs to clear their conscience on this app. And there's an edit here. Lol, so many people are mad. I'm sorry I cheated in high school. Still don't know why everyone's being annoying about it instead of commenting about times they've cheated themselves too. It's funny. The thing that I find crappy about this is, one, the way that you're acting about it afterwards. You're clearly not sorry about it, which I think is like a red flag. So I don't appreciate posts like that. I don't appreciate seeing posts like that. They do make me feel uncomfortable, and they do make me judge people more so than if they just confess and just like, God, I know it was bad. But the issue itself, the erasing the names of other people's assignments, you're not just cheating in a way that helps yourself. You could be really harming the chances of someone else. That's just not very nice. And I would expect you to feel some kind of remorse and badness about what you did, because that could have a really big effect on other people. I failed a class because someone like you kept stealing my work. I had to take it over again the next year. I lost my chance to learn piano for free because a teacher only stayed at our school for a year. Shame on you. Cheating is one thing, making someone else's grade suffer so you can skate by is an a-hole move. And I agree, especially if you're not going to show any remorse about it. Very not okay. And I feel like, oh lol, should be funny. It's overcompensating for a sense of insecurity that you're clearly feeling. And a reminder to myself, realize that the actions that you have, although may benefit you, can have really negative effects on others. Okay, should we do one more? Once upon a time, me and my family went on a road trip, and I had a fight with my brother over something petty. Quite a while later, we both fell asleep, with me laying my head in his lap. When I wake up, I vaguely remember being angry at him, and so in my groggy, half-dreaming state, I decided to bite him in the leg hard enough to leave teeth marks. He starts yelling, which wakes me up fully and grabs everyone's attention. My parents ask me what I was doing, so I say the first thing that comes to mind. I dreamt I was eating a sandwich. Years later, everyone still loves to recount the incident, completely oblivious to the truth. Well, I don't know what I would prefer people to think. That I bit my brother's leg because I was groggily half sleeping, or because I thought he was a sandwich. I mean, it's funny. As long as your brother's not too hurt. Siblings do things like this, right? So, oh my gosh, I'm dreaming, there's no consequences. Chomp. I don't think I've ever bitten someone before, but I have on multiple occasions woken up for dreams and been really mad at people because of stuff that's happened in dreams. Like Jamie, for example, would be like really grumpy with him, and I'll wake up proper and be like, sorry, I was mad at dream you. So you're not alone. Maybe on the chomping. Have you ever chomped someone because you dreamed? Let me know, Peaches. And did you enjoy this video? I thought it was quite fun going through them. Have I learnt anything? Yeah, maybe the confessions don't have to be as heavy as I assumed they were, and that some people are weird. If you enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more. If you're feeling really brave, you can share a confession of your own downstairs in the comments section. Or if you'd rather keep your total anonymity, DM me your confession on Insta, and if I get enough of them, we can do another one of these videos with your confessions right here. I might add in a few of my own. I will catch you next time with another video. Be kind and have a great day. Bye.